I'm excited about the new PSC nominees and their appointment process. Howard, welcome to the Capitol. Good to see you. And I'm encouraged, we have a new chairman, as I understand it, Senator Alexander, and I would encourage him to go ahead and put those PSC appointees up for their confirmation. It's important to the people. We want to be able to continue to keep rates down, and their appointment is critical to that. If you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Governor,
There's young people here today. Are you interning or something?
There are, Governor, I'm Barbara, typically Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
There are.
Governor, you said
the 911 bill that would ban the public release of 911 calls. Is that something you'd support?
Ban the release of those calls? I'm an open and transparent kind of guy. I would rather them be available to people. I can understand that there may be exceptions and issues of privacy, but I think I'd have to see the final language of the legislation before making that determination.
on Fox News last night, Governor, you said that Rubio paid back $16,000 in expenses, personal expenses on the party credit card
That's what he says.
after he got caught.
Correct.
What he says is that he never got reimbursed for those, that he paid for those out of his own pocket.
What about the $3,000 in flags? When did he pay that back? I think after one of your colleagues wrote that. It's one thing, there's an old expression that the true test of character is that you do what's right even when nobody's watching, not that you do what's right once you get caught. It's pretty clear to me.
But there's nothing you were talking about that shows that the party may have initially paid for those $16,000 in personal expenses.
I don't think we have much idea of what he paid for and what the party paid for and what the taxpayers have paid for. It's a mess. The whole thing's a mess.
Governor, Senator Romano has a bill up in committee today that would expand the definition of vehicular homicide to apply not just to a viable fetus, but to, quote, a member of the species Homo sapiens at any stage of development who is carried in the womb. Would you support the expansion of that law in that way?
I probably would. I have enormous respect for Senator Fasano, and just about everything that he does, I embrace, and I probably would this too.
Can you update us on what your office is doing to update the budget proposal that you made to the legislature? Do you know yet if you're going to submit a revised budget proposal to lawmakers?
No, I don't know that yet, Aaron. What we talked about yesterday when I was at the Tallahassee Democrat is, we're hopeful for Race to the Top, which would mean about $1 billion more for education for Florida. We remain hopeful and optimistic as it relates to the Seminole Compact, at least $400 million more this year, and billions going forward. In addition, the FMAP money, which would be another $1 billion for Medicaid. We think that those things are going to happen. If they don't, we'll adapt and adjust if we need to, but I think they're all going to happen. I certainly hope so for Florida's sake.
But for
Last
planning
question.
purposes, the lawmakers can't wait until the end of the session, close to the end of the session, for some of those things to work themselves out. Why aren't you?
That's when they do it anytime, anyway.
Well, but they're
That was
starting
good.
to work on the budget now. Why
I know.
why isn't your office, working with them a little more closely to present different alternatives, I guess?
Well, there's a check and balance to this government. We have an executive branch, we have a legislative branch, we have our view, they may have theirs, we respect each other, we think we're right.
Governor, you were referencing some of the Rubio shenanigans of the Republican Party credit card. In retrospect, if you had to make your choice to leave the party again, would you take James Greer for that job?
Remember, Chairman Greer wasn't chairman when Speaker Rubio had his credit card.
But over the long haul, there's been a lot of issue about spending and about who abused the credit card and where the money's gone, and the fact that it hasn't been transparent, which you've said yourself you wish it were.
Well, if hindsight's 20/20 and these things are becoming open and obvious now, I wouldn't vote for Marco Rubio for Senate.